How's it going there, guys? James here from Butler Farms. Just out here getting a couple of things done on a beautiful afternoon, and just wanted to show you something that's kind of new here. If you've been following me for any length of time, I've got an unwritten rule here as we've acquired this place and taken things out that were past their prime and not producing anything of any substance. When I put things back in, I've got one rule: it has to produce something worth letting it stay here, whether that be a fruit tree, berry trees, nut trees, in some form or fashion, whether it seasons our food, whether we can use it as medicine, whatever the case may be, it has to produce something. Well, a couple of weeks ago we were gifted a plant that at first glance I was like, I don't know about that. But you know, when people give you two plants, and there's, you know, I don't know what they cost, but you know, it was a nice gesture. So I got to researching it, and my first observation was, I told boss lady, I said, you know, I don't have enough room to put all the stuff that I want to put up here, and I sure am not going to put something up here that just doesn't have a purpose. It doesn't produce anything. Well, I got to studying on it, and I'm gonna give them a try, because they do actually produce something, and will help me out in some other ways. So, you know, we'll just see what happens. I'm gonna turn you around here and let you see what we got going on. These are called hummingbird plants. Now, most of you out there probably have heard of them before. I'm gonna try to get this light. Is so bright out here this afternoon that I don't know if you can see that. And I'd never really heard of them before. Now, here in the front of our house, as you know, we lost a tremendous tree there and here during the storms, and one right over there and one out at the road. So these were at least 100-year-old oaks, 4 of them that we lost just right here. And so now the front of the house has very little cover. So we were looking for something that we could put back in front of the house. Of course, we don't have enough years left in our life to grow, you know, another tree like that. So we were thinking about something that would look pretty, would have blooms, and would, you know, would give it some character in front of our house. I had some other ideas about what I was going to put here, but you know, boss lady wanted to give these a try, and after researching, it might not be such a bad idea. So the hummingbird plants are a tropical plant from everything that I can figure out. Now, the only problem is we live in zone 8, and these are very productive, and 9 to about zone 12. So I don't know how they're going to stand up here. I really don't. They seem to be more of a tropical type plant, and that could be a problem. You know, we don't have long, harsh winters like people up north, but you know, if they're a tropical plant, any kind of winter is probably going to bite them. They can get rather tall, but I'm not going to let them. I don't want it covering up my house or blocking the view out of the house, but at the same time, they're going to give us a couple of different things. You know, they can be get up to about 40 feet tall, but that's not going to happen here. I'm going to keep them cut down, but there was no information with them. I don't know if they're going to be pink or red or white, or from what I've researched, it can be a variation of several different colors, but we'll just have to see. The one thing that kind of sold me on them more than anything is they are very, very productive for pollinators. And that's something I'm always looking for up here. Excuse the loud folks that have to let everybody know they're coming back from the lake. Here's another one. You can see we put it in the hole where that old tree used to be. I hope you can see that. So there's one there and there's one there. Now, right across the driveway is where my hazelnut trees are. We've got all kinds of things that bloom around here, and this year the number of pollinators I've already seen is unbelievable. So we're making strides in that area. We've got bees everywhere. We've got butterflies already coming in, and so, you know, if I can stick something in here that's going to help berries and vegetables and on my nut trees, whatever the case may be, if I can get more attraction here from my pollinators, the good insects that I want here, that's a benefit. So it's going to be pretty. From what I've seen, the pictures I've seen, it'll be a pretty plant when it blooms. It'll attract pollinators. And you know, that's probably the biggest reason that I went ahead and put them in. But also, if it's the same kind, it's in Southeast Asia and places like that where they're grown, they're also used for, they're called vegetable hummingbird trees. And from what I have researched, now I'm gonna have to do a lot more research before I trust it, but from everything I've researched, if these are the same species, these plants, the leaves, flowers, and fruits can all be eaten. You know, you can eat them raw, you can cook them, but they also have medicinal purposes in Southeast Asia. The different parts are used in teas and salves and those kind of things. So, you know, who knows? Like I said, I'll have to do a lot more research on these before I'm willing to take that chance. But if nothing else, if they just add a little color to the front of our house, and if they will draw in more pollinators and keep them here longer, and keep them satisfied. I've told you before, a long time ago, that the guy across the road has bees, and so it helps him out, but it also, his bees that migrate over here and check out all my flowering things, it of course helps me out, because every time they touch something, they're fertilizing and pollinating, and that's exactly what I want them to do. I don't have bees here, have no plans of getting bees, I just don't have the time. But I do have somebody right directly, you know, almost directly across the road that has bees, and then I've got my native bees that are here, and butterflies and everything else. So, you know, yeah, I'm pretty stubborn sometimes. I like to plan things out the way I want them, and my mindset is always about, if you are not productive, you are not here. I mean, we've got oak trees and stuff out in the yard and things like that, but they've been here forever, and they provide shade. Another thing that I've been told about these is if you let them get high enough, they're wonderful shade trees to just come out here and sit and enjoy the afternoon. So I don't know, probably won't let them get that high in front of the house, but you know, if they can produce color in front of my house, just to make mama happy, just to make boss lady happy, and also draw in those pollinators, I'm willing to give them a shot, especially out here where we've lost so many trees when that big storm came through. And you know, this piece of ground is recovering. I needed a jackhammer to get through the soil, because since these big trees have come down, it's just baked out here. I'm getting ready to put some sod in some areas that are just rock hard. So, you know, anything I can do to break this soil up, improve this soil, and give it some kind of life where, you know, not only for our visual, but for everything else that helps us out, like the pollinators, I'm willing to do that. So, you know, you never say never. It's not a traditional food plant in any sense. Matter of fact, I'm just going to be honest, I'd never even heard of them until they were gifted to us, and that's why I had to do the research. But who knows, maybe it'll be a good thing. I'll show you. Obviously, they're starting to bud out. I don't know if they'll flower this year, but if they flower next year, I'll be sure to bring that to you and show you how they're going. But yeah, I'm gonna give them a shot and see how they can improve life up here for us. So everything's got a purpose up here. Sometimes it's not directly what I thought that purpose would be, but at the same time, indirectly, by bringing in those pollinators, it's going to help feed my family, and that's a bonus. That's a good thing. So I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please hit that thumbs up button, hit that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I post another video. This is a busy time of year, got a lot of videos coming, and don't forget to tell a friend. We're still growing, and I appreciate that so much. And until next time, we love you. God bless you. This is James from Butler Farms, and we'll be seeing you.